Welcome back to Mass Effect. JC here, and yes, it's more Codex. We should have guessed we've had 3 normal episodes and then an optional one. Yes, so JC slowly but surely and really badly reads out the Codex entries, which has been eloquently dubbed Story Time with JC, except that I'm really bad at reading out loud. Right, we will continue from where we started because we clicked on that one last time. We went into humanity and the Systems Alliance and then realised I ran out of time. So we'll start here. Human diplomatic relations. Dog shit normally. Right. Humanity has encountered many galactic species. War has been few, but mistrust is rife. Politically, the Alliance is a peaceful trade partner of the Turians. As a practical matter, however, there is simmering antagonism and bigotry between both populations over the First Contact War of 2157. Where both sides gave the other side a good kick in, because they weren't expecting the counterattack. And you know, Turians losing is going to make them butthurt. The Alliance enjoys good relations with the Asari, though many privately believe the matriarchs are aristocratic and overcautious. Though humans know better than to unconditionally trust any Solarian, their shared recklessness, reckless ways, there we go, make them a natural ally against the conservative Turians and Asari. The Krogan have no unified government, but individuals are generally treated as potential criminals, a reputation most Krogan enjoy living down to. It's like, yep. The Alliance has no formal contact with the Quarians. The migrant fleet has not yet passed through any human-settled systems. The Batarians are rivals for control of the Skillian Verge. They severed their treaties with the Citadel to prosecute a colonial conflict against the Alliance. Officially, there is no war, but neither is there any peace. From my own personal opinion, the Batarians are a bunch of butt-hurt dicks. They are definitely made out to be the bad guys who get the big end of the stick. And they deserve it most of the time. So you should not feel sorry for them. Because I won't. Right. Systems Alliance Geological Survey. Oh, wow. Sounds positively thrilling, eh? As the human race expands its territory and raises the general standard of living, demand for industrial resources continue to grow. Many planets, moons and asteroids contain a wealth of resources, but many systems have barely been charted, let alone thoroughly surveyed. Unmanned probes are one solution, but they are often lost to space hazards, unforeseen circumstances, or theft by scavengers. In recent years, the AGES, the Alliance Geological Service, have offered bounties to private individuals or teams willing to perform mineralogical surveys on the frontier. This survey data is made publicly available to further to further corporate development. Due to the cost of travel and the dangers of operating on hostile worlds, it is rarely a profitable endeavour. Light metals. Metals with low atomic weight are often used in the construction of spacecraft and vehicles. Heavy metals, metals with higher atomic weights, are used to construct equipment components. Platinum group elements are particularly useful. Rare earths. Most useful materials in the category are radioactives and or magnets. Neodymium. Gases. I don't know why the rest are all capitalised and that's not, but somebody didn't push caps lock. Various gases are required to support all known forms of sapient life. Some are commonly used as fuel. Hydrogen. Systems Alliance. Military jargon. I'm not reading this. This is just... Okay, some of them are actually useful. Sure, yeah, that's when you're off the vessel. Away is the... yeah. When you release from a dock or towed vessel. II is basically saying yes. ASAP is as soon as possible. Belay is stop. Bridge is where all the steering is done. It's also in most franchises where they're stupidly placed. And probably the most easiest to shoot. Captain's Mast. Non-judicial disciplinary proceedings by unit commanders. Right. CIC. Combat Information Center. That's basically where we stand when we interact with the galactic map. That's the CIC. Damage control, you know, is basically damage control. It's not hard. ECM, electronic countermeasures. EVA is extravehicular activity or going out into the Great Void. Flank is when somebody's hitting you on your side. Oh! Also known as a newbie. New guy. FNG. Yeah. Newbie. Groundside is being on a planet. Helmsman is the pilot. Eldar. Ooh. Light amplifier detection and ranging. Active sensor that bounces lasers off an object to determine its bearing and distance. Eldar has sufficient resolution that the data can be reconstructed into an image. Shore Party is a crew sent to shore on official business. Silent running is an old submarine term, but for the Normandy it denotes when the stealth systems are active. SITREP is situation report. Normally, we're in deep shit, sir. Spacer, someone who has spent most of their life in space. An XO is an executive officer, second in command of an Alliance warship. The XO is responsible for administrative and personnel matters. Very nice. Systems lines, N7. This is important because our character is of N7 class. The Alliance Military Vocational Codes System classifies the career path of all serving personnel. The MVC consists of one letter and one number. The soldier's MVC indicates proficiency, not rank. The letter notes the career path. The number indicates level of experience, as indicated by the service record, technical scores, and commendations. All 26 letters are used, and numbers run from 1 to 7. N is the letter code for Special Forces personnel. So if you're an N7, you are top Special Forces. Basically the best they can put out. That's what our character is before they became a Spectre. Still an N7. Human Systems Alliance timeline. 2069. Armstrong Outpost at Shackleton Crater becomes the first human settlement on Luna. It is formally founded on July 24th, 100th anniversary of the first lunar landing. Oh, no, nice. 2103. Oh, city in... Oh, God. As Charisma comes the first human settlement... Oh, right. Okay. I could just say 2103. First human settlement on Mars. Probably a bit easier. 2137. Energy Corporation demonstrates helium-3 fuel extraction from the atmosphere of Saturn. 2142. Construction of a gargantuan station. Oh. Garage station. My bad. Jump zero begins beyond the orbit of Pluto. Yes, it's a garage station. It's a... yeah... station that is situated in a gravitational point that is stable. Which means you don't actually have to adjust its position very much, and it just sits there because gravity pulls it into this one point and it basically just stays there. Very stable. Very good. 2148. Prospectors discover the Prothean ruins on Mars. I'm not pronouncing these things, just they can all just go sod right off. 2149. This is where, see, once you've discovered the Prothean ruins on Mars, the things just start accelerating. So, 2149. Translation of Prothean data leads humans to Charon Mass Relay. Systems Alliance founded to coordinate exploration and colonization of extrasolar worlds. Out of solar system, yes. 2151. A shipping accident at Singapore International Spaceport exposes downwind communities to containers of dust-formed element 0. Alliance begins construction of Arcturus Station. 2152. Roughly 30% of the children born in Singapore after element 0 exposure suffer from cancerous growths. Systems Alliance begins settlement of Earth's first extrasolar colony world, the planet of Demeter. Demeter? Wow. Most important one. 2154. Commander Shepard is born. T-bringer. Well, you don't get born to be a T-bringer, you just sort of become one. 2155. Systems Alliance occupies completed portions of Arcturus Station as a headquarters. 2156. Some children of Singapore exhibit minor telekinetic abilities. First human biotics. 2157. Turians encounter human explorers. First contact war Occupation and liberation of the human colony of Shanxi. (2158) Humans learn potential of biotics. An international effort to track element zero exposure begins. Roughly 10% of exposed children show some level of biotic ability. 2160. Systems Alliance Parliament founded. Well, it's all gone to shit now. 2165. Humans establish an embassy on the Citadel. 2170. Batarian slavers attack the Alliance colony of Mindwa. 2176. Skillian Blitz. Pirates and slavers attack Elysium, a human capital in the Skillian Verge. Saved by Commander Shepard. 2177. Thresher Maw devour the Alliance colony of Akuz. Thresher Maws, plural. Ugh. Don't mess with Thresher Maws. 2178. In retaliation for the Skillian Blitz, an Alliance fleet wipes out an army of slavers on the moon of Torfan. That's it, Torfan. 2183. Current date. There you go. That's the timeline. Planets and locations. Oh, stations. Garage Station. This has a bit more of information. Garage Station is the largest deep space station built by humanity. A Bernil sphere? Design with a 500-meter diameter inhabitable area. It was constructed beyond Pluto, nearly 80 astronomical units, 12 billion kilometers from Sol. Moving crew and materials to this location bankrupted most of the backers. Whoops. Right. No, it is. I've been saying it wrong this point because I thought it was something else, but it's not. That's the actual name of it. I'm sure this entry came from our chat with Alenko, and he probably said it correctly, so I don't have a fucking clue because that was probably a couple of weeks back. The station was placed at the inner edge of the heliopause, a point at which the solar wind can no longer push back the interstellar medium. It was built to test a number of faster-than-light drive principles that theoretically could only occur in interstellar space. The station was nicknamed Jump Zero, as it was intended to be the jumping off point for humanity's expansion into the galaxy. Shortly after the station was completed, the Prothean ruins were discovered on Mars, rendering the entire effort moot. Whoops, not particularly happy about that one. After struggling to make a profit for decades, the station was sold to the Systems Alliance in 2159 for a fraction of its construction cost. The Alliance refurbished it as a research and training centre for the recently discovered biotic phenomenon. I'm not going to carry on with that because that will get me demonetised. Wait, I'm not monetised anyway. Never mind. What it would actually do is get the video taken down. That's more likely. 2169. The Biotics Acclimation and Training Program was shut down and the station became a general research facility. Its remote location and intentional isolation from the extranet makes it popular for dangerous research, particularly in the field of artificial intelligence. Humanity's first stable AI, the Alliance-sponsored ELIZA, achieved sapience at the station in 2172. Whoops, that's not supposed to happen. Today the station has a permanent population of approximately 9,000. A plan has been proposed to move it to the gravitationally stable barycenter point between Pluto and the Charon Relay, allowing it to serve as a gateway facility between the Sol and the Arcturus system. The high cost of safely moving its mass has delayed this indefinitely. Well, shit. Oh, we're getting close to the end. Ships and vehicles. Oh no. I said we were getting close to the end, but no. No, there's a lot in here. God. We'll get it done eventually. FTL drive appearance. New space travellers ask, what does it look like outside a ship moving at faster than light speed? Part of that answer can be seen in a simple pane of glass. Light travels slower through glass than it does through open air. Light also moves slower in conventional space than it does in a high-speed mass effect field. This causes refraction. Any light entering at an angle is bent and separated into a spectrum. Objects outside the ship will appear refracted. The greater difference between the object exterior and the subject interior speeds of light, the greater the refraction. Right, big words. As the subjective light's speed of light is raised within the field, objects outside will appear to redshift, eventually becoming visible only to radio telescope antennae. High energy electromagnetic sources, normally hidden to the eye, become visible in the high blue spectrum. As the speed of light continues to be raised, X-ray, gamma ray, and eventually cosmic ray sources become visible. Stars will be replaced by pulsars, the accretion disks of black holes, quasars, and gamma ray bursts. Eesh. Lovely. Get to see space in a whole new, more disturbing way. To an outside observer, the ship within the Mass Effect drive envelope appears blue shifted. If within a field that allows travel at twice the speed of light, any radiation it emits has twice the energy as normal. If the ship is in a field of about 200 times the speed of light, it radiates visible light as X-rays and gamma rays. And the infrared heat from the hull is blue shifted up into the visible spectrum or higher. Ships moving at FTL are visible at great distances, though their signature will only propagate at the speed of light. Which is why they say when you jump out of light speed, you basically set off a massive flare as you shift back to normal. It's for the it's when they first described the stealth fields. If you're jumping to or from FTL, yeah, you basically just go set up a massive beacon saying, "Look, I was here," or "I am here" if you're arriving. Space combat. Combat endurance. Heat limits the length and intensity of ship-to-ship combat. Starships generate enormous heat when they fire high-energy weapons, perform maneuvering burns, and run onboard combat electronics. Okay. In combat, warships produce heat more quickly than they can disperse it. As heat builds within the vessel, crewed spaces become increasingly uncomfortable. Before the heat reaches lethal levels, a ship must win or retreat by entering FTL. After an FTL run, the ship halts, shuts down non-essential systems, and activates the heat radiation gear. Combat endurance varies from ship design, and by the battle's location. Battles in the deep cold of interstellar space can go on for some time. Engagements closer to a star are brief, since inhabitable worlds are usually close to the star. Battles over them are frantic. Basically, they're trying to cause as much damage as possible before they cook. Starships. Crew considerations. Cabins give each individual 10 cubic meters of space. On larger vessels, private rooms are common. As ships get smaller, the number of crew packed into a single wardroom increases. Asari prefer shared spaces even on large vessels, while Krogan territorial instincts make it impossible for them to cohabitate even on smaller ships. On smaller ships, hot bunking is the norm. Crew members assigned to different watches share the same bunk. When one gets off duty, he wakes up the person in the bunk. While that crewman is on duty, the first gets his rack time. It's a bit shit, but you know. Spacecraft compartments can be isolated by airtight doors in case of depressurization. The cinematic vision of explosive decompression is fiction. Hollow compartments either take enough damage, hold compartments either take enough damage that occupants are killed instantly, or leak slow enough that they are able to reach protective gear. Compartments are equipped with emergency life support apparatus, fireproof plastic bubbles with air bottles. Alright. Small when stowed, ELSAs comfortably accommodate one individual inflated. So once it's inflated, it takes one individual. Right, my brain's not quite working properly at the moment. Damage control procedures cut off ventilation to burning compartments. Without oxygen to consume, fires die in seconds. The compartment is repressurized afterwards for crew recovery. So, but yes, if there's a fire, they hop into one of these things. They're safe. They kill all the air in the place. The fire dies down. They redo it, and then they can just go recover the crew person from the bubble. Mass effect fields create an artificial gravity plane below the decks, preventing muscle atrophy and bone loss in 0G. Large vessels arrange their decks perpendicular to their thrust axis. The highest decks are at the bow, and the lowest are at the engines. This allows artificial gravity to work within the inertial effects of thrust. Work with the inertial effects of thrust. Ships that can land arrange their decks laterally so the crew can move about the vessel while the vessel is on the ground. Warships normally turn off their artificial gravity systems during combat, reducing the heat generated by systems and increasing combat endurance. To provide a point of reference for navigating in 0G, floors are painted in different colours from the walls and ceilings, so you don't get confused. You know, you could be in this thing, then after the battle they turn it up, turn on the artificial gravity, and then you fall flat on your head. Or we're going to get into definitions of classes soon. Haha! Excellent! But that's going to be next time. So we've got a bit more to do here, and then there's one more category after that, and then we're done. For now, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the Codex entries if we only get like a couple of entries, because I'll just be making an episode that's like 5 to 10 minutes long at best. I may just do that. Once we've gone through the bulk of it, as they come in, at the end of each week, I just put out whatever Codex entries there have been. But on that note, thank you for watching. Until next time, this is JC, out.